In 2024, I sold exactly 404 courses in my online business. And I know it sounds a little crazy to say, but I have YouTube to thank for that. Because of the way that I create my videos, that's where I see most of my course sales come from. So I wanted to break it down in this video. And basically, if you're also a course creator, why YouTube just makes so much sense to be creating videos on in order to make course sales. So before I get into the nitty-gritty of like how exactly I do this and how this works, I want to explain to you why this just makes sense. So think about it. If you're wanting to sell a course, which typically is like a video-based content in long form videos, maybe you have some downloads and templates and prompts that come along with that, but the bulk of the course is long form video. When you have people who love watching YouTube videos, who are going to YouTube for answers, who are already enjoying watching long form video style of content, it makes a lot of sense for them to also want to buy a video-based course, right? Because they're already used to that type of content. They already love seeing that type of content. And so for them to invest into a course usually just makes a lot of sense. And beyond that, a lot of the times the people on YouTube, if you create your videos right, they're the kinds of people who are searching for answers. Like they are going out and actually taking action and searching for things that they want to know the answer to. And so they're willing to put in the effort and do the work once they buy your course in order to see the results happen for them. And truly, this is for any niche, okay? You don't have to be an educator type business in order to see these types of results. YouTube is not just tutorials. There are so many types of videos that you can create on YouTube, right? And it's really about creating a personal brand and really infusing yourself and your personality into your brand. And so if you have an ideal client who has any sort of questions, any sort of objections, any sort of things that you're searching for answers to, things you can create videos on, you can create videos on YouTube, market your business, and therefore your course. And an example of that is this video right here. I'm talking about my experience and how I've sold courses, right? And although in a sense it is sort of teaching, I'm also just sharing my personal experience and what I have done in my own business. It could be sharing results you've gotten for your own clients. It could be literally so many different things, not just tutorials. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about how do those views that I'm getting from YouTube actually translate into online course sales. And that's what we're gonna talk about in the rest of this YouTube video. And so I wanna back up just a step and talk about creating your online course. So if you don't have your course created already, or if you haven't launched it super successfully and seen sales come in already, I want you to grab my free download, a launch timeline like overview of launching your online course. It's totally free. I'm gonna have the link right below in the description. So if you're in that phase of like, you know, you might want to create a course and that's why you clicked on this video because you're curious how you too could be the catalyst to actually selling your course, grab that launch timeline. I'm tripping over my words. Okay. Grab that free launch timeline template. That's gonna really help to give you an overview start on how to get your course out there. And also though, if you have a course where you haven't made any sales yet, one thing that I would probably recommend that you do first is launch it or relaunch it to your own community and see some sales come in. That's gonna give you a great idea whether you want to do a webinar strategy like I'm gonna talk about later in this video, or any other sort of like evergreen funnel strategy that I'm gonna talk about. You wanna see some sales come in and have an idea of how well that converts before you just start throwing YouTube videos out there that have the beginning to that funnel. It'll make more sense in a minute, but basically if you're in that stage, go download that template. It's gonna really help you a lot. And launching my courses with that timeline that I give you in that free template is actually how I made over $5,000 the first time I launched a course in about a 10-day period. Literally blew my mind, and that's kind of what changed my life when it came to online courses. And that was back in 2020. And since then I've launched 6 different online courses over the course of those launches. Like the first time I launched each of those courses following that exact timeline, I've generated over $150,000 from those course launches, which is absolutely insane. I have a free PDF that shows exactly how I made those sales for my online courses and made that money the first time I launched my course, and kind of walk you through my stats with that, the expenses, the revenue, my audience size at the time, so you can get a good feel for like what you might be able to expect with that. So I'll have a link to that below because that's free as well. It's creaky. Why is it so creaky? Once you have your online course made, the next step when you are thinking about selling your online course is I need visibility, right? I need consistent leads, traffic onto my sales page. Like I need people, the right people to see my course and want to purchase it. And that's where it comes with a combination of you got visibility over here that you need. And then there needs to be like a bridge or a gap in helping to guide them to purchase from you. So let's talk about that visibility piece first. And that's where YouTube comes in, because you could have the best bridge ever offer, aka a funnel, right? When you hear funnels, that's essentially what it is. It's like basically nurturing them and inviting them into something more by buying your paid offer. A lot of people have a great offer. They have a great funnel, maybe the beginnings of a funnel, a minimum viable funnel, but you don't have enough visibility for your offer or for that funnel. And that's why you're not making sales on your offer, okay? And specifically an online course. And so where YouTube comes in is it is such a unique platform in the sense that like Instagram can be so up and down. You can have great months, you can have bad months, right? Even Facebook ads, if you decide you want to do ads in the future, I'm kind of in a stage of business where I have not done a lot of ads up until this point, but I'm starting to dive deeper into them. And it's a lot of work and it's a lot of management. You have to keep an eye on them, have someone looking at them. And the more that you spend with ads, the more important it is that you have somebody who is constantly keeping track and keeping tabs and trying new things every single month. And so there's a lot of upkeep with a lot of these different platforms, right? Whether they're paid, whether they're free, organic platforms. But YouTube is such a unique platform in the sense of it is evergreen. That means that videos you upload can be found for literally years to come. You don't upload a video and usually see the most views within the first week. You upload a video and yes, you'll have views from your own audience in the first week or two, but as time goes on and YouTube figures out like your ideal audience, who you're trying to reach, that video will get found in places like search. YouTube is the second largest search platform on the internet, owned by Google, which is the first largest. You're getting seen in two different really powerful search engines, right? The two biggest ones out there. You're getting found in browse, which is things like when people first open up YouTube and see videos suggested on their homepage, that's where they're seeing your videos as well, as YouTube suggesting them there. But then also suggested by YouTube. And that's where like when you're watching videos and you'll see suggested videos like on the side right there that you can click on to next, that's exactly what we're talking about here, okay? So when you have these videos you're uploading, it's a way to get found for literally like months or years to come. My channel generated over 1 million views last year in 2024 for my business from all the videos I'd uploaded. And those were all from videos I'd uploaded from 2021, 2022, and 2023. I actually took 6 months off from posting on YouTube in 2024 and still had over 1 million views. You can't take 6 months off from Instagram and see that kind of result. And even something like blogging, yes, it might also be an evergreen platform, but those views generally don't convert as strongly as YouTube views because they're instantly seeing your face, they're hearing you talk, they're getting to know you. You're creating this library of bingeable videos they can then go out and also watch after they find you with that initial video. What makes it such a beautiful thing is, again, giving that visibility that yes, it's work to figure out and to have that learning curve, but once you figure it out, the upkeep is seriously so much lower than so many other platforms. And it's also like basically fast tracking that like, know, and trust factor to deciding that you're the person they want to learn from, right? You're the person that they want to learn from, whatever your niche is, whatever your topic is. Like you become that go-to person that they want to talk to. And when you do it right, with the way you create these videos, you can turn those views into new email list subscribers, which then turns into sales. So if you sell an online course, one of the best, most effective ways, in my opinion, to sell your online course on autopilot without having to do anything live is to do webinars, okay? And webinars, it's so funny. Like obviously back in the day, I feel like they used to be more sleazy and slimy and just not feel good. And there's still people who run them that way. I don't teach it that way though, and I still see really great conversions from my webinars. In fact, the last time I ran my webinar live, I had about a 13% conversion rate from my live attendees. 100 people were live, 13 of them bought my course, that's really, really good numbers. And I am someone who genuinely gives and teaches. Like even if you don't buy my course, you are going to learn something from my free classes, my free webinars. How I get people to actually like buy from me is thinking about what's that first step to that bridge, right? To get them to purchase. And again, knowing what that is organically and other ways first can be helpful to know what to include in your YouTube videos. But I have realized that when you're selling a course, so if you're on here, you're probably a course creator. A lot of us are selling courses anywhere from usually $200 up to $1,000, $2,000. And when you're in that price range, webinars are such a great way to go. It's a great way to build trust even deeper with your audience and to lead them to purchase from you, right? And to learn more about what you have to offer. And I usually teach that YouTube videos, you should be bite-sized, usually 8 to 12 minutes, which this is already going to be longer than 12 minutes. I can already say that, but most of my videos hit that around 10-minute mark. But my webinar is an hour long, and so it goes a little bit deeper into the topic that they want to learn about and invite them into something more. And I found that to, even in 2025, convert really well for my business. Even people who say like webinars are dead or they don't work, I think they work just fine, especially if you do them right and try different things and figure out what works for you. So essentially, when I have that webinar, I like to call them classes in my business. I call them free classes. I have that webinar and I am sharing about that organically within my YouTube videos. So I have 3 main ones that I share about right now, and that is my free Reels class, my free email class, and my free YouTube class. Okay, so those are the 3 main ones that I am just very organically sharing within YouTube videos. Like, this video is about Reels, for example, and I'm sharing, hey, if you want to learn more from me about Instagram Reels and my strategy, here's my free Reels class. The link is going to be below in the description. Those views, and people are seeing that by saying it in the video, having it easily accessible in the description, people are able to click on that and register for my free class, and those registrations then turn into sales from that class that they are watching. That's just one example of how a funnel can work. It's that bridge, right? Taking that visibility, those views, and turning it into sales for your online course. There's a lot of ways to do this. I've seen people do like private podcasts, do challenges, you do email funnels, but I've found, at least for me, when I've tested different things, webinars, and whether you run them live or whether you also then, so once I run it live, this is called putting it on evergreen, right? So people can watch it at any time and watch the replay on demand. That's what I'm talking about here. So when I'm linking it in my YouTube videos that are getting seen in 6 months from now, a year from now, it's the evergreen replay version of that live webinar that I ran that they get to rewatch it and still get access to whatever I'm pitching inside of that webinar. And if you're curious to see this in action, I actually have my free YouTube class, which goes even deeper into my YouTube strategy and how it works. I have a lot more visuals and stuff on there to help you to see and like connect those dots of how money happens on YouTube whenever you're a business owner and like the way to do it. So go watch that free YouTube class. It'll also give an idea of exactly what I'm talking about here, like how I'm inviting people to sign up for my free YouTube class and taking that and inviting them into something more when it comes to my course on YouTube marketing. Okay, so if you want an example of that, go watch that class. I also think if you're watching this video, you're probably going to really enjoy what is inside the class and potentially enjoy joining in on the course as well. So using this exact strategy that I talked about in this video, so getting that visibility on YouTube, having a course to sell, embedding it into, like it's ingrained into all of these videos now because I'm uploading one every single week. I've got all of these videos working for me in different ways to make sales for my business. And for courses specifically, I have found that those evergreen webinars, those free classes, and talking about it on camera in my videos, putting a link in the description, that is what works super, super well. And in doing this strategy, this is what led to my first multiple 6-figure year back in 2022. That was the first time I hit multi 6 figures in revenue for my business, and it blew my mind. YouTube was the number one way, like almost the only way I was marketing at that point for my business. I really wasn't doing a lot on Instagram to market my education business, and so it blows my mind. And ever since then, my revenue has gone up every single year. And so last year, to give you an idea of like what courses that I'm selling and how this happened, so I sold 404 courses. 148 of those are for my Reels mini course. It's my course on Instagram Reels. 191 courses were sold for YouTube for Business, which is my online course on how to show up on YouTube as a business owner. The third one is my Instagram growth course, which is my course on how to basically use Instagram as a whole. And I made 20 sales on that. I primarily use that as an upsell strategy from my Reels mini course. People can also add on Instagram growth. And then I also have Inbox to Income. I made 45 sales for that course. Okay, so this is a combination. Obviously, like the webinar strategy I talked about is one piece of the puzzle as to how I'm selling these courses, but I can tell you with so much confidence, like 90% of my audience comes from YouTube, and they're either buying my course immediately after they watch a video and watch a webinar and are getting invited into my course. They're either buying then, or they're getting on my email list and they're buying when I run a sale, like for Black Friday or any other type of promotion that I have going on. They're in my audience and they're buying then. A lot of you who are in my audience right now probably found me on YouTube, right? And it's just crazy to me how showing up on YouTube, it's not a short-term gain, but it is a long-term gain for years. I am so grateful that I started that. Like, it's the reason in 2022 when my growth started happening really quickly, my husband was able to quit his job. He's been able to be at home full-time with us over the past few years, and it's just been a huge blessing to me and being able to take 2 maternity leaves and really have so much margin in my life because of the visibility YouTube has brought me to my business. And just so incredibly grateful for YouTube and like how it has grown my business, which is why I'm so on fire on getting more of you on YouTube as well, because it can be a lot simpler than you think. Like at this point, even if I'm doing every single step of my YouTube creation process, it takes me about 4 hours per week. And if I'm not though, if I have a video editor on board, board brings it down to around 4 to 5 hours per month to outline, record, review all the videos for that month every single week. To me, that's totally worth it. Even as a mom, I have 3 under 3 and my time is really limited, but it is so worth it for me because you can easily spend more than 4 hours a week just on Instagram alone and not see the type of results that YouTube can bring you for the long term, even when you decide to take time off, right? So it's like overall the time you would spend on YouTube and what it can do like when you want to take breaks down the road because they have all these videos working for you. It's just incredible. So again, if you haven't watched that free YouTube class, I really encourage you to watch it because I think you'll really enjoy it. And it's about how to scale on YouTube and scale your business, scale your marketing. And yeah, so if you're looking to use YouTube to sell your own paid offers like courses, or if you also do like digital products or one-on-one coaching or group programs, memberships, like YouTube is also a really effective way to grow your audience for those types of offers as well. So anyways, I'll stop rambling on now. And if you want to get an idea of exactly what kinds of videos you can make dependent on your niche and your audience and what that could look like, be sure to watch last week's video. It was about how to come up with video ideas using ChatGPT, and I give you a couple of prompts in there. So that'll help give you a head start on actually creating videos. Or if you haven't started creating videos yet, maybe thinking about like what kind of video ideas could I make and how could this relate to my business and to my niche. So be sure to watch that video. We'll have it popped up on the screen right here so you can click on over to that, and I'll see you guys again next week on Tuesday with a new video. Bye guys.